So on this video, what we're going to learn is how to combine two photos. In this example, what we're going to do is we're going to erase the background and we're going to put a new background on it, okay? So we have a photo, we've imported it just like we did on the other video. We've imported it as layers, and as you can tell, it's already in layers, okay? So one of the ways that you could do it, you can't do the wand because if you can tell, there's a whole variety of colors. I have all kinds of colors, okay? The freestyle, which would be the loop, is going to be very, very complicated because there's a lot of curves. And if you remember, this lasso is more for straight edges. So what we're going to use is the path one. And the ideal is for you to be able to bring it up a little bit closer. Not so close, okay, so that we are able to see. And with this tool, what you're going to do is you'll start on a point and you're going to start making the path, trying to make sure that everything is selected. The advantage of using the path, for example, is that you can pull out or you can pull in. For example, there I got a little bit of the background. So if you don't want there to be some sort of like aura around the person or around the object that you're cutting, you can always pull back. It's always better to grab inside than it is for you to grab outside. Okay? So you keep doing it. It takes a little bit. It takes a while because you have to make sure that you're grabbing all the curves. But remember, I went ahead and did all of it a while back. So if you remember the curves that I told you these paths, that I told you back in the other video, is it records all of the paths that you've done. So if I go ahead and I grab this path, if you can tell, it's already been selected, or I've selected all of it. I go and I right click, go to select, and go to the part where it says to do it based on the path o a partir de una ruta. And there it's already selected. If you can tell, I've selected myself. If I was to press delete right now, I'd delete myself. But what we're going to do is we want to delete the background. And one of the steps that is very, very important is that I need to go to the layer, right click on it, and make sure that I have it that it's in the alpha channel. If I already have it, that's why it says eliminar al alpha channel. It should be, if you haven't done it yet, it should say agregar alpha channel or add to an alpha channel. What is this going to do? Instead of making it be that when I eliminate it becomes white or erase it becomes white, it's going to become transparent. That's the big difference, okay? So since we want to eliminate this background, we're going to go to select, to invert, and there I eliminate. Okay, if you can tell, I have a little bit more here that I need to be eliminating. So I'll do that right now. It's a little bit easier than the whole body. And this is where obviously you can Photoshop a little bit more yourself and say, I want less of this or more of that. Okay? So once there, I'm going to select it. And remember to always invert. Because if you don't invert, then you erase yourself. So there I have myself with no background. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put to unselect everything. Okay, as you can tell that I have really no background behind me. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a background. So I'm going to add another image, and I'm going to go add this image of the beach. Okay, it says if I want to convert it, say yes. And now if you can tell, I have a there's a beach behind me or in front of me. The layers, they work in a certain way that if I have this particular layer, for example, if it's on top, it's what's going to be on top, okay? If I was to put it on the below my other, or this one above, you can do it with these, it brings it forward. So whoever is on top, it's going to be forward. Whoever is on the bottom is going to be at the very back, okay? So now what we can do is make sure we crop it. So now I only have this part. Remember, how did I do that? I grabbed the crop tool. I highlighted what I wanted to keep. Okay? Only what I wanted to keep. I'm highlighting. I'm on the runner. The file is called running, or my layer, and I double click, and so it shortens it. It makes it into one. But as you can tell, that obviously I'm a little bit big compared to the picture, so what we're going to do is keep on selecting that, and we're going to scale it. Okay? So I can do it through this, for example. Okay? If you want to do it there. Or I can pull. Okay? You can keep doing it until you're about the size that you want. And we use the move. And you want to grab that. And you move your image where you want it. Okay? So now, as you can tell, it's very, very simple. You have two images. One is on top of the other. And we're able to now have a photo that looks like was taken together. As you can tell, for example, there is not a lot of border around. There's no aura. Okay? It's transparent in the background. That means that obviously it can look like it was one photograph. The next thing that you need to do is, once you're saving your documents, okay, you're going to go to File, Save As. And for the effects of this class, remember that we're going to save it in two ways. We're going to save it as a project, as a GIMP project, and also we're going to save it as a JPEG or any other type of image format that you want. But the very first part that we're going to do is we're going to save it as a project. Why a project? Because if I wanted to go back and change something later on, I could open it up, and there's GIMP is going to respect everything. Okay? So I'm going to put the name, and I'm going to put example 1. Okay? So it saves it. I can close it if I want. And I can try to reopen it again. This is example 1. Okay, and as you can tell, it's my image. I still have them here. If I wanted to add text to it, I could add a text. Okay, remember you can add text. We can change the color of our text, maybe to a purple. And let's change the size just a little bit. Okay, maybe not so much. And I have it, there's my image right there. Okay, so we have it there. We have an image. Now we want to save it so that we can upload it somewhere else. Okay, what we're going to do, we want to save it as an image format, whether it be PNG or GIF or JPEG. What we're going to do is we're going to go to export. Okay, So these are how we're going to export. By default, it's PNG. All images are PNG, but you can go here and choose whichever fits you best. Remember, PNG creates big files. If you go to JPEG, it's going to create a little bit less. So I'm going to go run beach, okay? That's what my file is going to be. I'll export it. I'll say yes to export. Okay. If I close this, obviously it's going to tell me if I want to save it. Yes, I do. And here is my image now.